Sometimes you think that over-explaining, giving people several chances, giving men several chances will make you feel better, he will literally understand what you're talking about the more you explain something. Well, let me tell you something, baby girl. That's not the reality. The more you explain, the less he cares, and the less he's gonna really act, because you're gonna sound like a baby crying and begging him to respect her while you're not respecting yourself in the first place. And I actually have something that I noticed myself. When a man brings something up to me and he's like, Sara, this thing that you say does not make me feel right. Can you please adjust it? My dear, that's the last time you're gonna hear me saying that thing. That's literally the last time you're gonna hear me saying that thing. I am stuck and I'm late for work, but that's fine. But then the question is, why do I change so quickly? Why do I acknowledge their feelings so quickly if it's so hard to do so? It's not hard to respect the other person's feelings, emotions, boundaries, but is it something that I'm willing to do? Is it something that I care about? If the answer is yes, straight away you're gonna change. If the answer is no, then get ready to explain, over-explain, over-explain, over-explain how you like to be treated to a man that never treated you actually right. Oh wait, no, he treated you right the first 2 weeks where he love bombed you. All right, now, when I talk like this, I don't talk about all men. I'm talking only to women that are facing some issues with some men, all right? I don't want to be like hate men, because me personally, I do love men. I do love men, the real ones. And I do love masculinity. However, I'm not here playing the victim chick. I'm not here gatekeeping the reality to the young women that maybe they did not go through a couple of more experiences like I did. Again, I'm in the wrong line. Yes, why not? Before I explain you the 5 reasons why you should actually keep silence, let me tell you that what I'm saying in this video is not that you should not communicate. Communication is key in any type of relationship. If we're talking about romantic relationship with your family, relationship in your career, or any type of relationship, guys, communication is key. All right? Even my cat, when he needs or she needs, because I have a boy and a girl, when they need to tell me something, they need to tell me, Sara, you didn't leave the water open. Sara, I want to go to the balcony. They communicate with me. They meow. So that's how I do understand that they need something from me. But if you don't communicate the issue in the first place, no one should read in your mind. However, there's difference between communicating and over-explaining. Let me also explain you the difference between these two. When you communicate something, you do want a change to happen. Sometimes it's not something that it can happen overnight, and all of us, we know that. However, when someone says, I will do A, B, C, D in XYZ time, you don't ask again for that thing to happen. You just wait. If that thing does not happen, you can remind the person if a lot of time passed by and maybe it crossed their mind, or you just take action. Because most of the times, when someone tells you something, you do remember it. If you forget it, it was never important enough. That means that suddenly I am not your priority. Because you remember what your sister told you, you remember what your brother told you, but somehow you forget what I told you. You don't have selective Alzheimer. You literally just don't care about my feelings at that time. And I know that some men will come and will be like, no, that's not true. I do care about my woman's feeling. Enough? Do you care enough to take action? Or do you care enough to acknowledge that and that's it? Here we go. You should just say and communicate the issue one time only. If that person really gives you a reason why he cannot deliver that specific thing, you can try, if you really care, to deliver it a second time. But from my personal experience, delivering the same issue a second time, and that person promised you a certain type of behavior, and that certain type of behavior did not come, but it did not come and you received some apologies, like, I could not act this way, I'm so sorry because I'm really facing XYZ. It just was like, all right, she's not complaining anymore, so let me just shut down. It does not happen like this. When a man knows what's going on, and at the same time, the same man is not taking action and is not even telling you, look, I know that you're expecting this, but I'm not in the position to do so, girl, leave that man. Because he literally knows this can make you sad. This can make you feel a certain type of way. This can literally disappoint you and ruin his image in your eyes. However, it's not important enough to tell you that he remembers that he promised you something, but he could not deliver. So let me tell you something. If you ask something to a man and this man does not deliver it to you, but he comes with an apology, hey, look, I'm trying my best, however, XYZ is happening, so I cannot make ABC happen. I'm really sorry and apologize for this. We can reschedule or anything. Or I'm sorry if I cannot really change this behavior of mine. I'm trying my best, but this comes from my past traumas and it might take a couple of more months. Is that okay for you? If someone does not come acknowledging the fact that I heard your concern, I know that the way that I'm acting or the fact that I'm not delivering that thing is making you feel a certain type of way. And I'm not acting like if I don't know, because I do know that this is hurting you. And I apologize before you get mad because I did not deliver or because I did not change the behavior. Easy, right, guys? So if this thing is not happening, remember, that man knows what he's doing, knows what he promised you. What is all of this? Knows what he promised you. He just decided to keep quiet, hoping that you forgot or hoping that you won't complain again, that you will just let it go. Girl, if a man is like this, a man does not take accountability of his own action, a man does not come to you and try to make you feel, not even to reassure you, it's literally to make you feel safe in his presence, then please let the man go. Literally let the man go. Because nowadays, literally, unless you're married, the only thing a man can provide to a woman is literally safety. And if that thing is missing, there's nothing that can save that relationship. All right, now let me tell you the 5 reasons why you should keep silent after communicating the issue one time only. The first reason why you should not over-explain is because when you stay silent afterwards, you do take your power back. And what I mean by that is that not everyone, really few people, do deserve access to your emotions and to your thoughts. That's reality. You don't need to overshare, you don't need to over-explain in order to make them understand your emotions. Because believe me, they might in the moment act like they care about your emotions, but if they neglected you the first time, what makes you think that they're not gonna do it a second time? So when you stay silent and you keep your emotions alone, you will let this man literally think and overthink about what is going on in your head. Is she gonna leave me? Is she gonna do something else? Is she gonna act like this forever? Is she just gonna become cold? Just leave out access to your emotions, to your brain, to yourself. Once you see that talking does not work, please stay silent. And once you stay silent, believe me that you take your power back, because you're gonna make him overthink. And this is not a toxic trait. This is self-respect, self-protection. Because if you don't care about my emotions and you show me that you don't care about my emotions, let me show you how I do care about my own emotions by not giving you access anymore. You don't deserve it. The second reason is that you actually start healing once you use this rule of silence. Why I say that? Because most of the times, everyone says it, and that's the reality of the case. Men are the biggest liars. Not because they want to lie to you, but sometimes they would rather want to tell you a white lie instead of telling you the truth, only because they want to keep the peace. While in reality, we are really sensitive beings, as women, that we capture every small emotion. When you bring up to him an issue, and the first thing he says is, "You are right, I will act right, I'm so sorry I did not till now I did really understand." If this is literally the first time you're communicating to him and this is his reaction, that's perfect. And then he acts accordingly, that's amazing. But if this is literally the third time you bring up the issue, the second time you bring up the issue, the fourth time you bring up the issue, and he's telling you this, that is literally what he told you the first time that he really understood, and you're just wondering like, which words did they use different now after the third time? Because the second time you're like, maybe he didn't really understand. Yeah, now I'm happy because maybe I didn't explain him good enough in order for him to receive the message. You see how delusional you are? So if you stay silent and you don't give the reasons, let me tell you, it happened to me that a man disappointed me heavily, and when he disappointed me, I just kept silent and I just said, you know what, I'm leaving, and I left. All right? This man till today, he knows. He even said, I'm sorry, but honestly, he didn't say I'm sorry because he knows what he did, but simply because they think that saying I'm sorry is gonna... If you're gonna ask him, you're sorry for what? He's not gonna be able to tell you, yeah, I'm sorry for this and that. So, in this case scenario, the fact that I just left without telling him the reason why I left gave me peace, made me heal. Because instead of hearing the I love you, the couple of hugs more, the oh my God, I'm so sorry, oh, you're right, I got your point now, I really got you, and they look at your eyes while they're saying this every time, like, all right, it helped me to heal. Meanwhile, I know per fact that if I would have told him the reason why I was mad, he would have prepared a full speech on how he's sorry, on how he's gonna change that behavior, on how he loves you, and everything in order for you to calm down. And how many times does it happen to you that you do calm down but the issue is still there? Yes, that's the thing. Most of the times, the issue is still there, but you do forgive this person. Simply because he just put some sugar on you that maybe he was not doing since a couple of months or anything, and you just accept the useless apology. That was not an apology, it was just a, please now shut up. Let me tell you a couple of times that I'm sorry for you to shut up. So once I did not tell to this man anymore the reason why I was leaving, I just left. I left him wondering. So now he's asking sorry and I'm not reacting to that. But I know per fact that if I ask to this person, why are you sorry? I just don't want to engage with these people anymore. But if I ask him, why are you sorry? He will not be capable to tell me what happened, what made me leave, because he does not know it. because it's a lot of small things all together. It's not a big action. It's not. No. So that's your main power. It gives you power because you keep your emotion, you keep your pain for yourself, but at the same time, you heal. Because if this person does not have the keys to enter the door, he will not be capable to enter the door no matter how many times he will try, right? So don't give him the keys to the Kia. I think someone already said that, yeah. I heard it from a relationship coach. Don't give him the keys to the Kia. If you give him the keys, don't wonder why he managed to enter without your permission. Even though you're angry, even though you're screaming at him maybe, or even though you're expressing yourself properly to the point that he knows exactly everything what he did, what you're giving him is the words that he should use to ask you sorry. And that's completely fine, again, if it happens one time. But if it happens several times, please keep it for yourself and just disappear and just keep silence. Live your life, because your life is amazing without a man. And sometimes it's even better without a man. However, I do love men. I do want a man in my life. But the type of man that I want and that you should want is a man that respects your boundaries. Oh my God, bare minimum. The third reason why you should keep your silence is because you stop replying to no sense. Now, I can also give you another explanation. When I was in a relationship with my ex, I was always over-explaining, simply because I invested too much in this man. That's literally, for me, sadly, it was not a ride or die, but I invested too much energy-wise, money-wise, that I'm like, if I let him go, I'm not gonna do the same for someone else. And at the same time, I'm gonna, it's too much energy that I lost. I cannot allow myself this. So this was my mindset, while I should have just let him go from the first month, literally. One time, I told him why he made me mad, and then I made my own thing and I was getting ready to go out for a walk. This man raised his voice. He was asking sorry in several times, and I was like, I'm not willing to talk now, because the way that I talk normally is like this. When I'm mad or not mad, I talk like this. I don't really raise my voice unless you make me cuckoo. But really, really few people made me cuckoo. And with this person, what happened is that he was literally saying, no, I'm not gonna let you go unless we talk about this thing. So he was closing me in our bedroom. And it was like, you're not leaving here unless we talk. And I'm like, it's not fair that you raise your voice because you don't have control over yourself. Meanwhile, I'm talking like this, so I think that we should just wait and talk in another time that is going to be more appropriate. And the more I talk like this, the more people that don't have control over their own emotions, they will talk and they will get even more mad. So he was not letting me go. I had to force him to let me leave the room, because I was like, I'm not willing to talk. I'm not willing to take your no sense and talk about that. But now the mistake was mine, because I should have just stood silent and went for a walk. But I told him the reasons, and then I was about to go to a walk thinking that, okay, I go for a walk and then we can talk calmly. But that person, most of the time, does not want you to leave. It wants you to be there in that situation and discuss at the same time about the issue. So most of the times they don't really want to respect your space. So just stay silent, do you, and wild excuses. The fourth point is that, of course, when you're silent, you do protect your feminine energy, because we're not made to discuss, we're not made to have issues, we're not made to fight. If we were literally husband and wife and we were stuck together, so we have to make it work because we committed to each other. My dear, I'm not I'm not willing to, let's say it more like in a funny way, to get wrinkles because of you. I'm not willing to get headaches, diabetes, and high blood pressure because you don't have control over yourself at your age. So believe me that silence makes you more mysterious, makes you more interesting to that man, and at the same time makes you keep your feminine energy because you're not disposing outside bad energy. And the last and not for importance point is that you do become magnetic. When you stay silent in a situation, you become magnetic because people are wondering, what are you thinking? In reality, they are actually wondering, what are you thinking? You are not there to beg them to act right. You are literally there just to see how they act, and you just act accordingly. That's the thing. Easy as that. You don't beg, you don't overexplain. Also, when you are with friends, they don't need to know your opinion every time. You keep silent. Because when you keep silent, whenever you talk, people will respect your opinion because they know that you talk only when it really makes sense. However, I am really late for work. Kisses, love you guys, and see you in the next video. Bye!